Good morning and welcome to the 2021 Peoria Unified Patriotic Speech Contest. It's my pleasure to get to kick us off this morning. My name's Jason Reynolds and I'm the very proud superintendent of our school district. This is such a great day. It's a great opportunity for our students to shine and show you all the things that they have learned and the skills that they've developed in being able to speak publicly. It's such a wonderful skill to have, and we're excited to get to hear these students. I first want to thank all of our teachers, our staff, our administrators around the district for all the work that they have done to ensure that we've been able to offer in-person instruction for really since September. It has taken a tremendous amount of work, a tremendous amount of sacrifice, and we want to say thank you to all of our employees as well as our parents and students for that commitment. Along with that, we have also tried to ensure that we're able to offer as many opportunities, experiences like this contest throughout the year because we know how valuable they are and how important they are to our students and our teachers and the schools that they represent. So we're excited to be here today, and again, thank you to everyone. I'm going to invite up Miss Kada Weeks from Copperwood Elementary, who's going to help us and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you would all stand and join us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Thank you so much, Kada. So a couple of quick things. First of all, I want to just talk about why we're here today. And there are three basic reasons. First of all, it is an opportunity for us to focus on the strengths, the values, and the virtues of the United States of America, and to recognize the individuals whose patriotism has positively impacted our country, as well as give our students, these amazing students, an opportunity to express what patriotism means to each of them, and lastly, to highlight and celebrate the outstanding strengths of the students who are with us today. So we are truly excited to have you. It is a true reflection of our district's vision, which is every student, every day, prepared to shape tomorrow. Let me introduce our judges before we get going, and then I'll turn it over to our lead judge. First of all, we have Miss Stacy Hamilton, who is currently an arts education curriculum and instructional coach. Prior to becoming a coach, she spent many years as a teacher developing student passion and talent in the arts. She was a junior high band teacher for 13 years and a student council advisor for 3. Wow, that's impressive. We have Miss Katie Lukacek. She is currently a curriculum and instructional coach. Prior to being the coach, she was an elementary teacher as well as a reading interventionist in our district. We have Miss Melissa Selby. Miss Selby is currently an ELA curriculum and instructional coach. Prior to coaching, she was a reading interventionist. For 8 years, taught first and second grade and enjoyed working with students of all age levels. She coached basketball and softball and the high school swim team, which is super exciting. And she just wanted to pass along her congratulations to all of you for being here today. Our last judge is Miss Sally Daytree. She is currently an ELA curriculum and instructional coach in our district. Prior to coaching, she taught junior high English in our district. She began her career in 4th grade, but she's also has taught literature, art, and Arizona history. She has I like how you throw this one in. She has amazing children of her own who are all products of the Peoria Unified School District. And last but not least, our timer, the very important role. Miss Christina Cox has been a teacher for 23 years, 14 here in our district. She has her master's degree from Northern Arizona University. Go Lumberjacks. And is currently a curriculum specialist for Peoria. She also has 3, I'm going to add, amazing children who are all enrolled in our school district. And lastly, I just, again, want to say thank you to all of our administrators, our teachers, all of the people who support this speech contest in our schools. Without them, their dedication, and their passion for this, we would not be able to pull this off this year. So thank you very, very much. Now it is time to turn the program over to the true stars of today's contest and get going on hearing what the amazing things that all the amazing things that they have to say. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Hamilton, who's going to lead the contest. Congratulations. Good luck.
Vladimir Stravka, representing Canyon Elementary.
Sorry.
And you may begin.
Welcome judges, students, and teachers to my patriotic speech. My name is Vladimir Stravka, and I'm representing Canyon Elementary. And I will be talking about what I think some of the responsibilities of a young citizen are and how you can put them into action. Some everyday responsibilities involve respect in a lot of different ways. You want to be kind and respectful to everyone around you, including your parents, teachers, and elders. Some ways to be a kind and respectful person is to volunteer to help others and to obey all the rules and laws of your community around you. Some ways that you can help your community is to let any officials know about any problems or concerns you may have and to keep the environment around you nice and clean. Community service and volunteering are both great ways that not only help you, but your community around you. Community service and volunteering can help you meet new people, participate in fun and fulfilling activities, and will strengthen the ties between you and your community. Studies have shown that community service has shown positive effects in teens and younger citizens. These positive effects will help them work through real challenges and to confront any moral dilemmas they may have. Volunteering not only gives you a natural sense of pride, but I'm going to move on. Now that I've said some of these ways, now that I have told you how to said a couple of ways to be a kind, respectful person, I will tell you how to put some of these ways into action. To keep your environment clean, you want to pick up after yourself, pick up any garbage you see, and not to litter. Letting any officials know about any problems or concerns you may have will help benefit your community by letting them help in ways you may not be able to yourself. Community service and volunteering helps your community by making it a better place overall. As I finish talking about what I think some of the responsibilities of a young citizen are, I would like to thank everyone for coming out to my speech and listening. My name is Vladimir Stravka, and I'm representing Canyon Elementary. Thank you all for listening.
representing Cheyenne Elementary, Madison Edwards. You may begin.
Former Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura suggested, patriotism is voluntary. It is a feeling loyalty and allegiance that is a result of knowledge and belief. A patriot shows their patriotism through their actions by their choice. Hello, my name is Madison Edwards, and I would like to welcome judges, fellow contestants, parents, and guests. Have you ever thought about how much the Pledge of Allegiance has changed over time? The Pledge of Allegiance was written over 100 years ago as a way for Americans to show their love and loyalty to their country. But there are many Americans today who feel like the Pledge of Allegiance is not meant for them. I hope to explain my own mixed feelings about our Pledge of Allegiance. Francis Bellamy wrote the Pledge of Allegiance in August 1892. The pledge was written because Francis Bellamy wanted all people to show loyalty to their home country, not just Americans. The original words were, and I quote, "I pledge allegiance to my flag and to the republic for which stands one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all." The words "the United States of America" were added in 1923, and then "one nation under God" was added in 1954. One word that stands out to me is the word indivisible, because no matter what happens in this country, we will always come back together as one. We say the Pledge of Allegiance to show our patriotic feelings. Saying the pledge makes me happy, but at the same time, I feel like there could be some changes to the words. Today we say, "to the flag of the United States of America." But the original Pledge of Allegiance was meant for all. By adding new words to the original pledge, Americans found a way to make it more meaningful and show the world the love we hold for our country. Because the pledge says one nation under God, it sounds like the whole country worships God, which is not true in our modern day America. Since the pledge is meant for all Americans to show love to their country, the pledge should include all Americans. Even though I proudly place my hand on my heart as I pledge my allegiance to the country I love, I know that there are people around me who, even though they love their country, they might not be able to do the same thing. I'd like you to take a moment to think about the many changes to the Pledge of Allegiance and ask yourself, is it time for another change? So, my fellow Americans, in the end, I strongly believe that one day I'll proudly stand my hand on my heart, say the words of the Pledge of Allegiance while knowing that each and every American who stands beside me is pledging their allegiance to a beautiful country that is doing the same for them. Today I leave you with this quote by Congressman Emanuel Cleaver of Missouri. "Let's do more than say the Pledge of Allegiance. Let us live it." Thank you for your time.
Representing Copperwood Elementary School, Cato Weeks. You may begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome judges, teachers, and guests. I'm Kata Weeks, and today I'll be talking about the Pledge of Allegiance. When you say the Pledge of Allegiance, it's just a thing you have to say every day before school officially starts. But the pledge means so much more than that. I pledge allegiance. To put it simply, this means I promise my loyalty. To say the Pledge of Allegiance is to promise that you will be loyal to your country and to your governments. I pledge allegiance. A true patriot does the right thing for his or her country in whatever form that takes. By saying the pledge, you are being a patriot by saying that we are one country and one nation. By saying this, you are giving not only your loyalty, but also your faith that this is what our country was and can still be. One nation under God. This part of the pledge means that we are one people and one voice. We are the United States of America. This means that no matter who is a part of it, no matter what race they come from, they are part of the nation, part of the country, and part of the people, because we are one nation. Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This final part of the pledge that I will be speaking about is saying what America is and can be. Saying this line means that you agree that America can be united and have liberty and justice, which are the very things America stands for. By saying and understanding the meaning of this part of the pledge makes you a patriot for standing up for the ways of your country. These lines are a promise and a vision that the people before us had. No matter how much the pledge has changed, the message is always the same. I promise my loyalty to our country. I agree we are united, and everyone and every voice matters. Thank you for listening, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Representing Country Meadows Elementary School, Zariah Pullman. You may begin.
Have you ever thought, wow, she is really smart? Michelle Obama once said, success is not about the money. It is about the change that you make in someone's life. Now more than ever, I am proud to be a young American woman and the next generation. Welcome teachers, judges, parents, and fellow contestants. My name is Zariah Pullman. There are patriotic women who shape this great country every single day that inspire, empower, and encourage. Who thought it would take 381 days and one woman to change America? Rosa Parks is an inspiring American woman who changed our great country. Rosa was arrested December 5th, 1955 for not giving up her seat to a white passenger. Rosa Parks said, "People always say the reason I didn't give up my seat was because I was old and tired, but I was only tired of giving in." She was 40, not old at all. After the 381 days of people not riding buses, the Supreme Court stopped inequality in buses and made it illegal to segregate buses. Imagine how proud Rosa Parks was. For all she did, she got awarded the MLK Award in 1956 and was given the nickname Mother of Civil Rights. The power of one female changed the future then and now. That is why I believe Rosa Parks inspired and is to this day inspiring millions. She's a public speaker, an attorney, a leader, and she was a first lady. Michelle Obama empowers thousands, if not millions of people every single day by giving back to the community. Michelle Obama has publicly spoken about and donated to 117 charities. How many of us can say that we did that? Michelle has also donated $500,000 to $1 million to causes like cancer, homelessness, human rights, education, and so much more. Not all of us have good health, are in a home, are treated the same, or have a good education. Have you heard of Girls Opportunity Alliance? Well, Michelle Obama has, and she donated $500,000 to the fund. All of this is why I believe Michelle Obama empowers millions of people every single day. Encourage, someone who gives support, confidence, and hope. Who encourages you? Your mom, your dad, your best friend? Well, I think of someone that I see almost every single day. My 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Cox. Teachers, they take a hand, open a mind, and touch a heart. I know teachers don't start boycotts or first ladies, but they encourage and push me to be my best me. The success of one woman is the inspiration to another woman. I'm proud to be an American because there are women like Rosa Parks who inspires, Michelle Obama who empowers, and amazing teachers who encourage that I can look up to. All of these amazingly strong women, plus my amazingly strong mom, are the women who made me, Zariah Pullman. Thank you.
Theodore Roosevelt once said, "I'm an American, free-born and free-bred, where I acknowledge no man as my superior, except for his own worth, or as my inferior, except for his own demerit." This quote explains how much freedom you have in this country, which is why you should be proud to be an American. But wait, there's more. Welcome, judges and fellow contestants. My name is Kyle Armstrong from Desert Palms Elementary, and I'll be explaining Roosevelt's quote. Now, I'm happy to be an American citizen for the freedom of speech and freedom of education that we have. The fact we could feel free to talk, to learn, to be here is just amazing. It's sad that some countries don't have what we have, because if we Americans can have freedom, then why can't everyone else? We are all humans. It's like we've been learning this our entire lives. Like a teacher telling you, if you want to share snacks with your friend, share with everyone else. It's the exact same thing as freedom. It should be for everyone. This is why I am proud and lucky to be an American, and you should too. Now to the point. I will be splitting this up by 2 parts. Now, what Theodore Roosevelt meant was how much freedom we have, how we are free-born, living free in a free country. So we don't need to grow up with a leader telling us what to do. It also talks about how we are free-bred, raised free in a free country, where we can do whatever we want, without people telling us otherwise. Of course, still following laws. He sees no man as his superior or inferior, because from people in the government to the people on the streets, we are all still American citizens. A summary of all of this. I'm an American, free-born and free-bred, where I acknowledge no man as my superior or inferior, even from the smallest power to the greatest power. Now that is my speech on Roosevelt's quote, and I wish everyone else good luck. Thank you for your time, and goodbye.
Representing Desert Valley Elementary School, Kelsey Allen. You may begin.
What are responsibilities? Are they the same for all people? Welcome parents, judges, and fellow contestants. My name is Kelsey Allen. Do young citizens have responsibilities like parents do? Of course. They have responsibilities like obeying laws, helping with community service, and respecting others. But how do these three things have to do with patriotism? In my opinion, obeying rules and laws is crucial for our society because when you obey the law, you protect our general safety. You may ask how? Well, it gives us a predictable and ordered society to make us feel secure. It also promotes fairness and freedom. Bertrand Russell once said, "Government can easily exist without law, but law cannot exist without government." Let us think for a second. If our society had no rules or laws, that would become every second of every day. Traffic will not be safe, and we wouldn't have punishments for the people who do bad things. Today, our community has a pandemic called the coronavirus. We have decisive mandates or rules to follow to stay safe. For example, wearing a mask in public slows down the spread of the virus. Obeying rules and laws is molding us young citizens, but helping with community service is also molding us. Community service is a great way to get involved in young life. Did you know people of all ages take their own time picking up trash to make our world less polluted? The Volunteering Society hit the world record of $167 billion and 62.8 million volunteers. You may be wondering what things we can do as a young citizen to help our community. Well, we can walk dogs for the elderly or us as neighbors. Another way to be more included in community service is donating outgrown clothes and toys you don't play with anymore. Money earned from your donations is given to charities. Donating items is a substantial aspect of modeling community service, but respecting others is a very kind deed. There are so many ways you can be respectful of someone. You should never judge a book by its cover because you shouldn't form an opinion based on someone's looks. If you take a deeper look at someone and get to know them from who they are. Patriotism is a national pride of love and devotion that we share for our community. You may be wondering that the only way to show respect is to be nice, but that's not the case. You can do much more, like addressing mistakes with kindness and respecting other people's boundaries. I think we should do more of addressing our mistakes in further amusing ways, such as starting off with something positive, avoid sounding authoritative, and offer help. Boundaries are essential for having respect for someone because it sets a basic guideline of how you want to be treated. Doesn't it feel good to show respect to all? I think we have responsibilities like parents do because this is our opportunity to practice adult skills. As a young citizen, we need to have responsibilities like obeying the laws, helping with community service, and respecting others to be a humble and kind human being. If we don't work on being a young citizen today, then we will struggle on being a young, active adult citizen later. Thank you.
Representing Frontier Elementary, Bella Arcot.
Could you do me a favor and close your eyes? I want you to envision a world that is free from racism, division, and intolerance. Now, open your eyes. What if I told you today that it's completely possible if we all did our part as young citizens? Welcome, judges and online guests. My name is Bella Arcadi, and today I'm going to talk about the responsibilities of the adolescents of today, also known as Gen Z, some silly names someone gave us, and as it relates to our country and communities. I believe as young Americans, we are the future. We have a huge responsibility on our shoulders to ensure that even our children can live in a world where they feel safe from violence based on their race and religion. We have every opportunity to make this happen by being an overall good citizen, respecting all rights, and staying informed with today's government. First, we need to look within ourselves at becoming better citizens. Look around you. Imagine if 1 out of every 5 people volunteered in their community. The empathy one can gain from that is priceless. Gordon B. Hinckley once said, "Every good citizen adds to the strength of a nation." That quote really speaks to me. Being caring and compassionate towards the people of our great nation can make a huge difference. Try to do random acts of kindness here and there. Give someone an unexpected compliment. Hold the door open for someone. Let someone take your place in line. I promise if we all did these things, we would see change. Next, respecting all rights is one of the greatest gifts we can give to one another. It's important because it helps us to feel safe to express ourselves freely. Respect is a valuable thing that you learn through life and is something you have to earn from others. Sadly, our world is loaded with conflict. Opinions, likes, and dislikes are rampantly different from each other. It's important to recognize the diversity of America. Instead of being reactive towards another's response, be proactive and listen more. If we're more open-minded and accepting of others, our country will slowly become more and more tolerant. Finally, staying informed of our local government and political worlds would help us to be more engaged and present as young adults. Next election, encourage your parents to vote and ask to go with them to the polls. Take your own initiative to understand the election process. Make sure you have a good understanding that if your candidate doesn't win, what you can actively do next to be open to the possibility that the candidate you didn't vote for may make a positive impact too. In conclusion, I'm asking you all to use one idea from my speech and put it into action, especially to my fellow students. We can make a difference. Let's be great citizens, respect all rights, and stay politically informed to be responsible young citizens of the world today. Gen Z, we've got this. Let's make this country rock. Thank you.
Next up is Delaney Patterson representing Lake Pleasant Elementary School. You may begin.
Lewis D. Owens once said, "Our job is to be an awake people, utterly conscious, to attend our world. Owens was a novelist and a professor of English and Native American studies with a genuine love for American language and literature. He wrote this to characterize how we can make an impact on our country and our world. To me personally, this quote means that we must act when there is injustice and rise when there are challenges, because if we don't, then who else will? If you are aware of injustice happening, you need to do something about it, because being aware isn't enough. With ongoing problems like racial and gender discrimination, unequal pay, and unnecessary violence, we need people like you to start acting. You can do this by donating, volunteering your time, standing up for your rights, or informing others of wrongdoing so that they can make a difference too. For example, UNICEF, a global agency dedicated to helping children in need, is partnering with other organizations and sharing statistics online to help young people gain the rights that they deserve. When you do things like these, not only are you proving that change is possible, you are taking us one step closer to stopping injustice. Another thing you can do for your country is helping to take on the challenges that America faces every day. Because of things like polluted waters, disappearing forests, and overflowing landfills, our environment is slowly being destroyed. According to Hampton.gov, over 51 billion pieces of garbage are discarded onto American roadways each year. Think about the trash that you waste each day and how it equivalates to such a large amount. Another study shows that humans cut down forest areas the size of a football field every 1.2 seconds. How are we going to keep this planet if we are continuously abusing it? By planting trees, recycling, and cutting down on our use of pollution, we can help to eliminate these types of challenges. Solving these types of problems will not only benefit our country, but also the rest of our world. Owens' quote relates to patriotism, because by being aware and mindful of the problems around us, we can help to make America a better place. When you show patriotism, you are showing loyalty and pride towards your country. Being patriotic is important because it helps to build a stronger nation. That is why we must do everything in our power to become more patriotic and be the best citizens that we can be. In conclusion, we must become more aware of the problems around us and work together as a nation to fix them. When people treat others unfairly and fail to take care of our environment, it makes our nation weaker. We can't allow to let these challenges and acts of injustice continue. But if we are going to wake up and attend our world, we need to do it now. Thank you.
Representing Marshall Ranch Elementary School. You may begin.
Good morning, judges, fellow contestants, parents, and others. Do you think a fifth grader like me can make a positive difference in our world? I strongly feel that we should have better water in our schools. My name is Anna Bukema. I'm in Marshall Ranch Elementary, and I'm here to tell you my 3 reasons on why we need better water in our schools. Better tasting water, more sanitary water, and the need for healthier water are my 3 reasons on why we need better water in our schools. To begin with, having better tasting water is beneficial for schools to have. For example, some students might have a sensitive palate for tasting, and those students might not want to drink the school water like me, which means some students will get dehydrated. Some signs of dehydration are you can't think as well, and in school, that is essential. In order to do well in school, you have to focus, and it's hard to think if you can't focus. Also, if you are dizzy, you might be dehydrated as well. Chemicals used to treat water or remnants of metal from old plumbing pipes can cause a bad taste to water. A buildup of hydrogen can cause a bad taste to water as well. Have you ever thought about how sanitary your water is? Well, according to the article from waterscience.com, it states that with the increasing water crisis, water should never be drunk or used without treatment. If you do drink untreated water, you may get waterborne diseases. If you get waterborne diseases, you might get diarrhea, several types of cancer, heart problems, or other serious diseases. Now, most schools don't test their pipes for lead contamination, and that's kind of a big thing. Also, if not sanitary, students may get diarrhea, which will sometimes cause illnesses, including stunting and impaired brain development. These are my facts on why we need healthier water in our school. So, sometimes if not filtered correctly, things like arsenic, lead, and even viruses can be in our school's water. Can you believe that? Also, when water is or has stopped, the water stagnates. That can allow organisms like Legionella to grow and harmful metals to leach into our water. An investigator found that contaminants have appeared in schools' drinking water in all 50 states. Some students might be having some changes in their bodies right now, and they need all the nutrients they can get. Writing a letter and sending it to the district to see if they approve can help them know our way of making schools a better community. I hope you found my patriotic speech informational, and I hope you've thought about my facts and the reasons. Thank you for listening to my patriotic speech, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for joining us for the 34th Annual Patriotic Speech Contest this morning. Students are currently taking a short break, and we will return in approximately 10 minutes. Thanks for your patience.
welcome back, representing Park Ridge Elementary School, Sarah Malkin. You may begin.
Hello, judges and contestants. My name is Sarah Malkin and I am here to represent my school, Park Ridge Elementary. Today, I'm going to be talking about patriotism and different ways to commit it. Cultural diffusion, the belief that your country is the best, and the responsibilities that young citizens have to make our world a better and more patriotic place are all clear examples of patriotism to me. A topic that is constantly thrown around in my world is cultural diffusion. Cultural diffusion has helped shape our world. Inside of our world, it has helped shape different communities, such as our government, schools, and more. The way that I think of cultural diffusion is the fact that the beliefs of others can bloom into huge dreams and can inspire others to stand what they believe is right for our country. By connecting the dots of ideas, you are not only committing patriotism, but you are putting together the pieces of a country, the country that we live in today. The next topic that I'm going to be talking about today is the belief that your country is the best, no matter what. A blind belief is not patriotic because it shows that you don't care what your country does, even if it's horrible. If we speak up, we can encourage those around us and show them the strength that they need to make sure that they know when it's okay to stand for their country. And every day it's okay to stand for your country. If we hold ourselves to a higher standard, our world finally becomes something we can become proud of. The last topic I'm going to be talking about today is the responsibilities that young citizens have to make our world a better and more patriotic place. Students always do one act of patriotism a day, and that is saying the Pledge of Allegiance. By making this pledge, students are showing their respect towards the country and acknowledging the rights that we have here. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness were guaranteed to all of us by the Declaration of Independence, and it is our job, our mission, to make sure that everybody in this country has those rights. Overall, patriotism has many acts. Some of the acts are more patriotic than others, but all patriotism comes for the benefit of the country. I believe that our country is built around patriotism for years, and that explains why it's such a major part of our country today. Thank you for your time.
Representing Paseo Verde Elementary, Lainey O'Toole. You may begin.
Hi, I'm Lainey O'Toole, a 5th grade student at Paseo Verde Elementary. Let me start by asking you a question. How did you all get here today? Did you get here by car, walking, or even taking a bike? If you got here by car, then raise your hand. Cool. We've all heard of the Ford Motor Company. Henry Ford is an amazing American patriot who helped revolutionize the car industry.
His early life tells him to become a smart, intelligent inventor and American patriot. He's a great man who impacted America. When Henry was young, he lived on a small farm in Michigan and liked to take apart and reassemble watches. He was intrigued with watches. This is where his inventing days started. According to Britannica.com, when Henry got older, he was supposed to take over his family farm. But instead, he wanted to move on to invent bigger things. Those are only a few things that led Henry Ford to becoming a famous American patriot. The events that followed after Henry Ford made the choice to leave his family farm greatly impacted America. His invention of the assembly line is used to make many of the items we buy today. He's the founder of the Ford Motor Company and is famous for his invention of the Model T, which is one of the cars he made. By using the assembly line, he also made it possible to mass-produce vehicles, instead of one vehicle being made at a time. Those two events led to the modern vehicles we drive today. Henry's impact on America doesn't just end with the invention of the assembly line and the Model T vehicle. Thomas Edison was interested in Ford's inventions. Henry Ford looked up to Thomas Edison as a mentor. In Henry Ford's early days, he worked for the Edison Illuminating Company for several years. This is where his invention of the Model T first started. This time in Henry's life is what led to all of the amazing vehicles that impacted America today. If you didn't know who Henry Ford was before, how he impacted America, or where he came from, now you know. Now anytime I see a little Ford logo on a car, I will quietly thank Henry Ford for his brilliant inventions. When everything seems to be against you, remember that an airplane takes off against wind, not within it. So said Henry Ford.
Next up, Ibrahim, representing Peoria Elementary. You may begin.
Imagine being home every day, using electronics, not knowing about your world. You're just focused on the non-important things and you're not learning anything about your world. Well, now's the time for you to step up and learn about your world yourself. Welcome, fellow contestants, judges, and viewers. My name is Asawida Ibrahim, and today I represent Peoria Elementary. Today I would like to share my thoughts on our job is to be an awakened people, utterly conscious, to attend to our world, said by Lewis D. Owens, and how all of us can make a difference together. That quote is important to me personally because it inspires me to actually want to be into this world and see what's going on out there. Instead of being focused on the non-important things, instead of being focused on things that won't get you anywhere in life, when there are people out there going through violence or being forced to do things they aren't happy with doing. And they're going through that just because of what type of person they are or their looks. After all, we need to be in good touch with this world and see when this world needs you and go out there and do many fabulous things that would change lives. It's understandable that not many of us can do big things, but we want to go out there and do what we can and something that will be meaningful to others. Little things can also change this world because big things aren't always needed for everything. Little things can also mean a lot too. We can make a difference in our world together as one by respecting everyone and treat everyone evenly. Also, help as many as people as you can or in any way you can. And we need to all be together because everyone in this world together is just like a one great family that should never be split apart. Now's the time to make the world a good place to be for everyone. That was my thoughts about that quote. Now let's see how Lewis D. Owens' statement relates to patriotism. Patriotism has all types of different meanings. For instance, one of them is social responsibilities of service, leadership and participation, and democracy. That definition of patriotism relates to Lewis D. Owens' statement because what he said and the way it meant to me was like he wants us to be a responsible leader in this world and participate in our world so we can be leaders and make this place better than it already is. Patriotism means a lot to me because my whole family is from Kenya and I was the only one who was born in the US. So not only am I trying to make a difference here, but I'm also trying to make a difference there. And of course, all around the world too, but mainly those two places for me. In conclusion, we need to attend to our world because this is our job. What are you thinking? Are you thinking the same or not? Thank you to everyone for your time and listening. Thank you. Thank you.
Representing Pioneer Elementary School, Isabella Lopez. You may begin.
Today I will be talking about some people who showed patriotism every day and how you can too. Hello fellow contestants and judges. My name is Isabella Lopez, a 5th grader from Pioneer Elementary. First, what is patriotism? Well, the definition of patriotism in the dictionary states a love for or devotion to one's country. So now that we know what patriotism is, how can we show it? Well, here are some examples of people who showed patriotism every day. First off, we have my dad, Jeremiah Lopez. He is a kind funny, caring person who was in the Navy for a couple of years and did great things. Some of the things that he did were helping people drive both big and small boats. He helped land helicopters on huge boats. He helped catch buoys on boats, and he even helped feed almost everybody on large boats. Even though he's not in the Navy anymore today, he is still helping people by driving them to their medical appointments and back home to make sure that they get the medical care that they need. This is especially important for elderly or disabled people who cannot do that themselves. Another great example of patriotism is a person we all know, Martin Luther King Jr., or MLK for short. He showed patriotism by fighting for his country to end segregation and to have equality, justice, and freedom for all African Americans. Some of the things that he did were present 450 speeches. He was famous for his I Have a Dream speech. He led a bus boycott, and he went to jail 29 times. Now that just shows how much he was willing to do for our country. In conclusion, these men were some of the people who showed patriotism every day and who I felt stood out to me. Oh, and how can you show patriotism? Thank you for your time.
Representing Saguaro Ranch Elementary, Les Reese. You may begin.
The Pledge of Allegiance is a promise to our flag and the country it represents. We are one nation, under the watch of God, not able to be divided, with freedom and fairness for all. That is how I would describe the Pledge of Allegiance. My name is Les Reese, and I would like to share my thoughts on the Pledge of Allegiance. Before I get to the point, I would like to share some facts I found on the pledge. The Pledge of Allegiance was written by Francis Bellamy in 1892. At that time, it said, "I pledge allegiance to my flag and the republic for which it stands. One nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all." Since then, there have only been 2 changes made to the Pledge of Allegiance. In 1923, the opening line, "I pledge allegiance to my flag," was changed to "I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America." And in 1954, the words "under God" were added. These added words continue to cause arguments about the pledge. There have been many lawsuits where people try to take out "under God," like on December 4, 2007, when Michael Nudo argued to remove "under God" from the Pledge of Allegiance. However, I believe these changes have made the pledge great. Each part of the Pledge of Allegiance has a different meaning. To me, the lines with the most meaning are "one nation under God" and "with liberty and justice for all." First, "one nation under God" to me means that our country is not separate, not multiple, but one. One society under the watch of God. Next, saying "with liberty and justice for all" means that everyone in that society deserves freedom and fairness. It means everyone deserves the same freedom and the same fairness. Knowing that I live in a country that values freedom and fairness makes me feel patriotic. I feel patriotic when I say the Pledge of Allegiance. To me, it is a way to say thank you to all of the soldiers who fought for my freedom. My great-grandpa was in the Air Force, and so were both of my grandpas. My uncle is currently in the Air Force as well. Knowing that they put their lives at stake to make my nation safe makes me feel patriotic. So I say the Pledge of Allegiance to thank them. Let's do more than say the Pledge of Allegiance, let us live it. Those are the words of Emmanuel Cleaver, and I agree with him. I believe saying the Pledge of Allegiance should not only be treated as a pledge to our country, but also as a pledge to our daily lives. We can do this by simply thanking a veteran whenever we see one, or even go as far as joining the military to support our country. I feel patriotic when I say the Pledge of Allegiance. How does saying the pledge make you feel? Thank you. Oh, that was scary.
Next up, representing Sun Valley Elementary School, James Talbot. You may begin.
Hi, what do you think about the Pledge of Allegiance? Today I'm going to talk about what the Pledge of Allegiance means to me and what I think of it and the words of it and how it means meaningful to me. First thing is that the Pledge of Allegiance is very thoughtful, and the people who fought for it, like my uncle who was in the Navy and sadly died because he was kind of in the war too. The Pledge of Allegiance means to me that it's meaningful because every time I say it, I feel like I could fit in, and every day that I can try and not give up. Every time I say justice for all, I feel like I can be brave, honest, and truthful. And every time everyone says it, says under God, feels so good and united because God is the one who led us here to make families of us and leading us to the future. And I like to say that the Pledge of Allegiance is good for all of us, and I like it every day when I say it. Thank you for your time.
Representing Boone Hills Elementary School, Lily Humphrey. You may begin.
Welcome judges, fellow contestants, and guests. My name is Lily Humphrey. Have you ever thought about diverse cultures within the United States showing patriotism to our country? Lori Payestoa is a perfect example. Lori was born on December 14th, 1979 in Tuba City, Arizona. She was of Hopi descent with her Native American name being Kocha Han Mana, meaning white bear girl. Lori came from a long line of family members who served in the military. In 2001, she followed in her family's footsteps and joined the U.S. Army Quartermaster Corps. During the Iraq War, Lori and her convoy were traveling through the desert when they became lost. The group was ambushed, and the Humvee she was driving was hit by a rocket-propelled grenade. Lori and the others were taken as prisoners of war, where she later died of her injuries on March 23, 2003. She was proudly awarded with the Prisoner of War Medal and the Purple Heart Award. Not only was Lori the first woman in the U.S. military killed in the Iraq War, but she was also the first Native American female serving in the U.S. military to die during combat. Her home state of Arizona honored her sacrifice by naming a popular mountain within the Phoenix Mountain Preserve, Payestoa Peak. Having the chance to put a spotlight on someone like Lori Payestoa, who spent her life growing up in the Hopi tribe, shows that being an American oftentimes means people from different cultures, diverse backgrounds, and belief systems are just as well suited to make the kind of sacrifices America was built on. I hope we all can take Lori's love for her country and apply it to our own lives and be as brave and loving as her. The definition of cultural diffusion is the spread of different ideas, beliefs, and innovations from one group to another and how it helps shape and strengthen America. Lori showed this by serving our country, honoring our country, and dying for our country. She's an amazing role model and will forever be remembered for her bravery and patriotism. Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for the 34th Annual Patriotic Speech Contest. All of the speakers have finished for the competition, and the judges have retreated to debate the results. We expect the judges will take at least 25 minutes, and we will return no earlier than 10:10 a.m. So once again, the judges are deliberating. We will return no earlier than 10:10 a.m. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for joining us for the 34th Annual Patriotic Speech Contest. The judges are still deliberating the results, and we hope that they're back soon so that we can announce the winners. Thank you very much for your patience.
Hold, please.
Telling jokes. Let me reiterate how proud we are of all of you. You have represented Peoria Unified so well. Your schools are incredibly proud of you. Your student body is so proud of you. We'd like to take a moment just to recognize each of you individually for your amazing accomplishment. So when I call your name, Ms. Mundy will be giving you a certificate of recognition that you can take back with you, proudly display it, and let everybody know your amazing accomplishment today. So, first, we'd like to congratulate Vladimir Stropka. Madison Edwards. Kata Weeks. Zariah Pullman. Kyle Armstrong. Kelsey Allen. Bella Arcadi. Delaney Patterson. Anna Bukema. Sarah Melkin. Lainey O'Toole. Asawira Ibrahim. Isabella Lopez. Les Reese. James Talbot. Lily Humphrey. Next, I'd like to welcome Mrs. Marla Hobbs to award our top 5 participants today.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Hamilton. I was watching from my office, and wow, just amazing speeches, your passion, your incredible finesse as you were up here being able to speak in front of everybody. So job well done. You represented your schools very, very well. Our 4th and 5th place winners will receive a plaque, and our 1st through 3rd place winners will receive a trophy. In 5th place, we'd like to welcome up Kelsey Allen. In 4th place, Delaney Patterson. In third place, Lily Humphrey. In second place, Zariah Pullman. And our first place winner for the 2021 5th and 6th grade Patriotic Speech Contest, it goes to Bella Arcadi. Congratulations and thank you all for your participation today.